So let me ask you, so why do you think it's so important to have another sort of commemoration for October 7th today? There's so many. Do you think helping? What's the message of these events?
First of all, it's not just a ceremony. I think we should talk about it every day. Every day till they will come back. And after they will come back, we should still talk about it because, as I'm always saying, I don't want any more mothers like me. All over the world, not just in Israel. And we should talk about it and we should explain it, and all the world should understand that this is not just Israel and Palestinian conflicts. It's not at all. This is a terror attack, and terror attack can arrive everywhere in the world. Here in New York, everywhere in New York. That's why we should do every day an event, every day explanation, and especially after 1 year, we should do the ceremony because a lot of people died in that attack.
And how have you been coping? I mean, you've known about your son for many months. It's not something you just found out. You knew relatively soon after October 7th, compared to other parents. How are you just coping right now? I mean, how do you cope every day when you wake up in the morning?
Actually, I'm not. It's look like, I'm look regular, but I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating. I cannot do nothing, but I think something is motivate us because we have, I am always saying, I'm in the job of my life. I should bring back my son. And this what's giving us force. And this is what's motivate us.
And are you in contact with any other parents or mothers?
Of course,
the other
together.
101.
We are all together. We have a group. We have WhatsApp group. We are seeing each other. We have a lot of evening together. We are talking all the times. We are traveling around the world together. Giving each other the force.
It's like a club you'd rather not be in, but you have to.
It's exactly like that. I in the last year, they are my family. We are the family for each other.
Yeah.
We did all the holidays together, and we went in weekends together. We are all the time together.
And we know today that the Knesset passed 2 bills related to UNRWA. One was UNRWA no longer is able to operate in Israel, and another was Israelis can't deal with UNRWA. How do you feel about that, knowing that it was your son was taken by an employee of UNRWA in an UNRWA vehicle?
I think it was my goal.
Yeah.
Since the day I heard about it, and we make a history. We really make history. A lot of organizations try to do it a lot of years. And I think at least after all the suffer we had this year, at least we have something, we succeed with it.
Yeah.
And we will not live till it will happen all over the world. There is no way that an organization that's getting money or support from the United Nations organization, an organization that's called itself.
But this is reserved for the Jewish organization and the CGs. So
there is no way that's an organization that's called itself humanitarian one doing terror.
Yeah.
So I hope we make justice today.
And what do you think the message is that sends to the United Nations? I mean, this is an arm of the United Nations that they perceive as helping, what they perceive as refugees, that is helping people. What's the message sending to them?
To start doing their job and not just talking. They should start doing the real job. To investigate the people that's coming to work on them, to check and verify that those people that's working under the umbrella of United Nations are really humanitarian, are really working with and they implement
He's in charge.
the aim and the goals of the United Nations.
And is it? And then just finally, because I just want to is. The thought that, your son was taken by a person who worked for an arm of the United Nations, does it make it any different had it been someone who worked for the United Nations rather, or just a plain citizen? Do you know what I mean? That it's just even more unimaginable that it was someone who claimed to be a humanitarian.
I will tell you what. First of all, I said that for me, United Nations kidnapped my son. I don't care if it's terrorist or not. I'm a big manager in my company.
Yeah.
And if something is going wrong with one of my employees, it's my responsibility. So I think United Nations should take the responsibility and make all the efforts they can to fix what their employees do. And one of these is to help and make to bring all the hostages back. It's one of their missions.
They need to be accountable. They need to be accountable.
He told me it's against the law to take hostages. It's against the law to kill, but he didn't do nothing. So I don't want the United Nations just to talk. I want them to do, to implement their rules. They have a lot of rules.
And what would your son say, do you think, about your mission now in just, making UNRWA accountable, your bond with the other hostage families? Would he be proud of you, obviously?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He would be like, that's my mom. He knows that that's your personality and driven.
Yeah.
And then finally, how would you describe his personality in a few words?
My son? I'm describing him as the most life person in the world. And I'm always saying that Jonathan is the life and the life is Jonathan, because he's the most happy child, charming, and joy, full of joy. This is Jonathan.